Thank you, Dada. So I would like to introduce our main speaker and welcome him on behalf of all our members. Our today's main speaker is Dr. Rewat Kaninde ji. Speaking about Mr. Rewat, he is experienced medical doctor with a demonstrated history of working in hospital and healthcare industry, skilled in clinical research, hospital, healthcare management, healthcare and leadership. He is a strong healthcare service professional with a Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, MBBS, and he has done his MBBS from MBBS Grant Medical College. So I would like Mr. Reva to go ahead and start his session.
Hello all, Jai Bhim. Uh, am I audible enough? Right? I can start. Yeah. So, Jai Bhim, everyone, I'm happy to be part of today's session. And I like to heartiest congratulate everybody who take efforts to organize such weekly sessions for everybody. Uh, I have seen since last many months the flyer, and you include children's session with it. It is very important. So I again can congratulate and appreciate the efforts of the organizer. So my today's topic is Siddhartha Tathagat Gautam Buddha, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, and mental health. So nowadays, mental health is very much discussed topic, and it has been on top of everyone's mind since last some years. Everybody is going through something. Everybody is going having a hard time, difficulty in coping up, and difficulty in doing day-to-day life, if I may say so. But if we compare, as we have converted ourselves to Buddhism by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar in 1956, and it's almost more than 70 years now. And where are we standing now, and how we see Buddha and Babasaheb in perspective of mental health. So I will be discussing that. Recently, I would like to share some experience of mine, which I have I was discussing something with some students who are around 20, 21 years of age. They are doing their MBBS. They were in their second year and third year. There were 10 students in front of me, and I was discussing. And I asked them, do you have inferiority complex? And to my sad imagination, 9 out of 10 said yes. I'll tell you that they all are from studying in government medical college, so they must be having very good marks in their uh, medical entrance exam. They are not in their first years. They are there. They were in third year. So why this is happening? And since last many years, I'm quite discussing these facts with upcoming new generation that how you are coping up with day-to-day life, and I'm finding it very difficult for them. They are actually having inferiority complex. So why mental health and Buddha and comparison of Buddha and Babasaheb mental health with ourselves is important. So if we go ahead with starting with Buddha's life, we all are very well versed with Buddha's day-to-day life, Baba Sahib's day-to-day life, and they have had their low points in their life, if I may dare say, and how they coped up at that contemporary time, how they managed themselves to overcome their situation, and how Buddha became Buddha, Baba Sahib became Baba Sahib, and now they are our guiding light since last many thousands of years, and will be our guiding lights in upcoming thousands of years. So I'll be discussing some of Buddha's and Babasaheb life events, which are actually we can see as some points where we can actually see and discuss the mental health, negative and positive points as. So when there was a quarrel on the water of Rohini River, Buddha was then Siddhartha, of course, was amongst the Sangha, and he was asked to battle by the majority of Sangha, and he denied, and he chose to leave his empire, to leave his princehood, and became monk. That is one point. Second point, when he became Buddha, there was a dilemmatic point in his life that now I know that I am knowledgeable enough. I am, if I may say so, he must be having the thought that, yes, I am Buddha now. Should I be sharing thoughts with others? Or what should we do? So these are the 2 points I would like to discuss today. So first was the Battle of Rohini River, or for the water of Rohini River. So believe, just imagine or let's take all of us back to 2,500 years back, and let's imagine that we are standing in front of Buddha and his wife Yashodhara, and what he must have told her while discussing the events. Of course, he had a wife and kid, and after coming from that discussion of in the Sangha about the Battle of Rohini River and what decision he took, he must have discussed that fact with his wife Yashodhara. And as Baba Sahib has rightly mentioned, is Buddha and his Dhamma, Yashodhara supported his decision. He explained what had happened, and Yashodhara wholeheartedly supported his decision. Not only she supported his decision, but she said, if I were to be Siddhartha, or if I would have been in your position, I would have done the same thing. So this is very interesting fact and very intellectual thing to discuss between wife and husband or partners. When somebody takes such a uh, big decision which may affect the entire course of the life, not only their personal life, as because Siddharth was prince, it was affecting the entire course of his father's legacy, the emperor's legacy, and everything. So they both supported each other at that very moment. Afterwards, of course, Yashodhara was in a sad state, and we know all the details. Second thing which I like to discuss, which I mentioned earlier, that when Buddha achieved the state of Buddha, he was in the dilemma that should I share this knowledge with everyone? So first he took a decision to enjoy that knowledge. So this is the very interesting, again, an interesting fact, of course, and uh, discussed by or told by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar in his Buddha and his Dhamma, that he took time to enjoy that Buddhahood. So this is very, very interesting fact. When we go and achieve something, many of us are inclined to celebrate it or show it off to others. But Buddha, what Buddha did is he enjoyed the fact that I am Buddha now, or I know the knowledge, and he enjoyed some time. He gave some period. If I'm not wrong, it was around a month that he enjoyed. So that is again one fact where we can see the mental health of Siddhartha or Buddha. Now coming to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, he have had a very difficult life. We all know, we all have read about his life. I would like to focus on some points. A very famous story when he was in US, or he was in UK, when he used to go to library. He was the one who went first in the library and comes out last. And there is one story in Marathi, of course, that बाबासाहेब फक्त ब्रेड आणि त्याच्यावर चिंचोक्या एवढ्या जाम खाऊन जगायचे. दॅट मीन्स he used to have jam at size of a pebble on one or two breads, and he used to read for the entire time while the library was opened officially. And once he was eating inside the library while reading, the librarian came and he told him to go outside. And he was very sad then. He went outside, of course, and it. What was his thought process then? This is one point. Second, he studied everything, then came back and was in Baroda doing his job as asked by then King of Baroda, Sayajirao Gaikwad, who gave him the scholarship. He was a great personality and had a monumental. He done a monumental thing for the scholarship he had given to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. So Babasaheb was there in Baroda, and he was not able to get room on rent. He was not able to work properly as his colleagues, then so-called upper caste people, were teasing him, were not working with him. What was his mental health then? There is one story when he went outside, sat on a bench near a tree and cried that even after achieving so much, not able to work properly. This is where again we can see what mental health he must have gone through, or what mental health uh, thing what must be going on in his mind, and still he kept going. Third, very interesting, as I live in Mumbai, I often try to go to his house. Everybody know that Baba Sahib lived in Rajgruha, and before that he lived in BIT, that which is Bombay Improvement Trust Chawl, which is there in Parel, beside Damodar Hall. Everybody knows that he worked had an office in Damodar Hall after he came back. So the room which is there in that BID Shawl, room number 50 and 51, which is 10 by 10. 10. We often say that Baba Sahib lived in 10 by 10 room and worked hard. And he did lot of monumental thing, but I don't know how. When I was a child, and when I used to listen to these stories, I thought people must be making the room must be somewhat at least bigger, like 15 by uh, 15 or 15 by 20, must be 1 or 2 BHK. But just for the sake of saying, people are saying like that. But when I was in my undergraduate years, I visited uh, that house that is actually 10 by 10. There are two rooms. Uh, I don't know how many of you have visited that home. If you are in Mumbai, please try to do so. So 10 by 10, two rooms which are not attached to each other. There is one passage in between two rooms. So one room is, of course, the kitchen, and second room where he used to study. So imagine a 10 by 10 room. So now one room is completely for the kitchen, and two families were living in that two rooms, his and his brothers, along with wives and kids, respectively. So how he must have studied there, how he must have researched there, how he must have written unimaginable material there. So if we imagine ourselves right now standing in the 10 by 10 room, and Baba Sahib sitting in that on a table and chair, and imagine his 24 or 48 hours, then how he must have felt, or how he must have had various thoughts in his mind. Let me tell you that he lived in that two rooms till 1934. So, and he came in that room in 1908, I guess. So, at the age of 43, if I'm not wrong, he lived in that age. So, all of the major incidences, right from Mahad Saudaratari Satyagraha, right from Mook Nayak magazine, right from Nashik, Kalaram Mandir Satyagraha. Everything was happening in those two rooms. So imagine the things or the great things he did from the 10 by 10 room. Now I'll tell you a I'll tell you a very interesting fact that there is no washroom or attached washroom to the two rooms. There is a common toilet and washroom for the all the people living on that floor. So that building is G plus 3 and Baba Sahib was living on second floor, room number 50 and 50. So if around 15 families, 15 to 20 families are living on the one floor. BIT Chawl, that is Bombay Improvement Trust Chawl, was established or constructed after the Great Plague of 1896, 95, 96. So that there are pakka ghars for or the walled houses for everyone, and there should be a separation or isolation. We all have gone through COVID and we all know the protocol. So for that, then the Great Plague, those chawls were built for the native Indians, and Baba Sahib was living in that chawl. So Baba Sahib was using, as I was saying, common washroom and toilets till he was 42 to 43 years of his age. Can you imagine? As I mentioned, that we are now standing in that 10 by 10 room and it's early morning. And can you see Baba Sahib in banyan and uh, lungi, might be, and he's having a bucket in his hand and going to washroom? Just imagine that. He was a human being. He is our inspiration. And imagine that. But he's daily doing that daily. So till the age of 40 to 43 years, he was in that room. He lived. What must have been his mental health? What must have been the thoughts when he was living there? To analyze that, see Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj, who was very much impressed by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar work, and he wanted to donate for the bi-weekly, which Baba Sahib was about to start. And imagine a king. Now imagine yourself as Baba Sahib, and there is one king who want to donate money for what you want to start. So if you receive a call or a WhatsApp call now from someone very wealthy person and he's asking you to come and collect the money, you will be definitely be happy and go anywhere he asked. Shahu Maharaj used to live in Mumbai then. There was his bungalow in Mumbai too. Of course, even if Shahu Maharaj have sent a letter to Baba Sahib and asked him to come to Kolhapur, Baba Sahib, they have gone to collect the money or to collect the donation. But imagine Shahu Maharaj himself going to that BIT chawl, standing on a road, and मराठीत आपण त्याला आरोळी किंवा जोरांनी असं आवाज देणे जे म्हणतो and saying Baba Sahib or his name or Bhimrao his name from the road in front of his building or the chawl building. Baba Sahib is on second floor. His window is facing the road and he's listening to someone is calling, and then Shahu Maharaj is climbing two stairs up, coming to the 10 by 10 room, sitting there discussing about many things with Baba Sahib Ambedkar or Bhimrao, and giving him donation, taking tea from Ramai, discussing with her, appreciating their efforts, both Ramai's and Baba Sahib's, and then going back. So why Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj or Rajeshri Shahu Maharaj, if I may say so? How he must have been that much impressed by his intellect. What must have been his mental health at that time? Mahad Satyagraha in 1927, to which we are now celebrating 100 years this year. Babasaheb went from Mumbai to Chaudhar Tale by boat, not by the road. So he went from Mumbai. He took boat from, if I'm not wrong, uh, Bhausa Dhakka, which is a jetty in Mumbai, and then go. He went to Alibag, Mandwa, and so on and so forth. I might be wrong in the naming the villages, then coastal villages, but he went by the route. You all know, of course, about what happened in Mahar. I want to discuss the fact after what happened in Mahar. So you all know that how so-called upper caste people then ruined their meal. They came and beaten our public there. So Baba Sahib took a decision not to fight them back. What was his mental health, or what must have been doing, what must have been he thinking at that time? And then he came back to Mumbai. Uh, then he was living, as I said, in 10 by 10 BIT Salt, room number 5051. So he wanted to discuss and have a sabha, have a large gathering and discuss these events, what had happened in Mahad, and he wanted to share his future planning with public. So what he did, he was living in Parel. If some of you are well versed in Mumbai's geography, the Parel is near to Dadar. There are many grounds, big grounds near Parel area, where right now many political leaders take their political sabhas. But what Baba Sahib did, he did not take a corner meeting, or he did not take a sabha in open ground. He took his sabha in Kavashji Jahangir Hall, which is right now NGMA, National Modern Art Gallery, which is right in front of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Museum, or right in front of Regal Theatre. It's a very, very big town hall. He went there. He took sabha or gathering in Kawaji Jahangir Hall. What must be his thought there? Living in 10 by 10 room and taking sabha in such a huge modern structure and addressing the crowd and telling them that I will fight this battle till end legally. He announced that in Kawaji and Jahangir. So these are some of the life events I am discussing with you today, that what mental health is. So as I'm a medical doctor and we have a book on community medicine where where health is, I'll read it so that I'm not wrong. So health is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely as absence of disease or infirmity. So health is combination of physical, mental, and social well-being. And from that three, um, we only give importance to physical health, and we many a times we forget about mental health and social well-being. So how Baba Sahib, how Buddha tackled at their time, you can even see Mahatma Phule, you can see the life events of Savitribai Phule. Yesterday we have celebrated Mahatma Phule's 200th birth anniversary. And imagine a kid or a young boy of 21 years of age and a girl of 17-year age establishing first school for the downtrodden, for the girls, and Savitri Bai becoming first female teacher of entire Indian subcontinent or India. She was 17 years of age. I'm very much keen in discussing what must be their mental health at that particular time. How they all were human beings. They all were like us. They were 200 years before us, 200 years before this technological era, and still they managed to do great or unimaginably large, unimaginably very important things which is affecting our generation and will be affecting upcoming generations for thousands of years. So in Dhammapada, there is a verse, Arogya Paramalabha Santutti Param Dhanam Visasya Paramayati Nibbana Param Sukham. It's Dhammapada 204, where Buddha says, Arogya is Paramalabha. Arogya is everything, and which covers physical, mental, as well as the social aspect. Again, there is a verse in Dhammapada which says, Tumme hi kicha atappa akhataro tathagata, which means Buddha only guide us. We have to walk the path. So it is our responsibility to gain the knowledge, to see what Babasaheb, Buddha, Mahatma Phule, Savitribai Phule, and all the great leaders have taught us. We should not just read it, or we should not just preach it, but we should follow it. There is one small story. I don't know the credibility of that story, but it's very interesting story. And if I'm not wrong, there are some kids in the today's session, so I'll share that story with you. Uh, it was when Sant Tukaram was there, and one mother came along with his kid uh, to Sant Tukaram and asked him that you are very famous. Can you please tell my daughter? She had the mother had her daughter with her. Can you please tell my daughter that she should not eat much sugar? She eats sugar on daily basis. She eats jaggery on daily basis, and it's not good. Can you please tell her that? So Sant Tukaram said, I'm not the right person to tell her. You can go to some other guy who is intellectual in that field. But the mother never stopped and said, no, 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 you are very famous and she listens to you. She always attends uh, your preachings and everything. Can you please tell? So Sant Tukaram thinks and he says, okay, give me 8 days, please. Come back after 8 days and definitely tell your daughter what to do and what not to. And then after 8 days, after a week, again that mother, along with her daughter, comes to Sant Tukaram and again asks him, can you please tell her that even if we were there last time, she is still eating the jaggery and the sugar. Can you please tell? And Sant Tukaram says, okay, okay, I'll tell. And he tells her daughter, Beta, don't eat from tomorrow. You should not eat sugar and jaggery. It's bad for your health. And that's it. And after 15 or 20 days back, after 15 or 20 days, that the mother again come to Santa Tukaram and says, it was just one small thing you said, and she stopped eating that. So why you took 8 days and have not told her to stop eating sugar or jaggery 8 days before? You took 8 days. What was your intention? So Santa Tukaram says, actually, the fact is, I am also very fond of sugar and jaggery. Mini told me not to eat that on daily basis, but I do that. So, in that 8 days, I stopped myself from eating sugar and jaggery, and then I told her that she should stop. So, the inference of that story we can link to the preachings of Buddha that whatever dhamma or whatever knowledge Buddha, Babasaheb, or all the other our great leaders had told us, we have to read, we have to analyze, and we have to practice it on our daily basis. Our mental health, our strong mental health can become more strong if you have not, if you have are in a thing of mood of confusion, if you are in the mood of difficulty. Believe me, teachings of Buddha and Babasaheb and Mahatma Phule and Savitri Bai, not their speeches, or I'm not saying not their speeches or not their uh, knowledge, but day-to-day life, what they went through. Uh, when Mata Ramai died, she was an iron lady, Mata Ramai. She sold her golden and ornaments to give food to the students. You all know that. And when she died in 1934, Baba Sahib was devastated. What he did? He went to Konkan to live near a seashore for 15 days. So he worked on his mental health there. He used to walk on seashore every morning and every evening. Of course, with some people, he was still discussing many facts or whatever important decision, but he was doing on seashore. So he took care of that situation when Ramai died, and he was not coping up with him. He was crying. You can see in the letters written by him uh, to many people that he was in some confused, or if I may so, somewhat compromised mental health after the death of Iron Lady Ramai. He took a decision to go and live for 15 days in front of a seashore. He lived in a hostel, had his cot situated near the window, which is facing again to the seashore. So these are some of the life incidences and live incidences uh, from the life of Buddha and Babasaheb Ambedkar, where they have faced many, many great challenges, but they they overcome that. They they never complained about it. Is it that, or is it that they never nagged about it? Or is it that they were some godly personality and they never faced these mental challenges? Or is it like that? No, no, though they are the great leaders and mental health is not their cup of tea. They were having a great mental health. So it's not like that. They all are human beings and they have must have faced many challenges. But what they did, they practiced positive mental health. They practiced many things which will help their mental health to grow, to get or to become a stronger human being at that particular time. If you know that when Dr. Savita Ambedkar was with Babasaheb Ambedkar, Baba Sahib used to do yoga or daily physical activity on morning basis. We can see we can see his photos. Now many so-called if I dare say so-called upper caste and uh, Sanatani mentality people link that photo to Baba Sahib who used to do that Hindu ritual thing. But no, it was a physical exercise he was doing in the morning. And it is very important to do the physical exercise on daily basis to to make your mental health strong along with your physical health. daily exercise help you for mental health? There is one small 2 3 lines I'll like to read from Sayukta Nikaya and Upada Sutta from the Sayukta Nikaya, where Ananda is speaking with Buddha, and Ananda is saying, "This is half of the holy life, Tathagat, having admirable people as friends, companions, and colleagues." Ananda is saying, "This is half of the holy life, Tathagata, having admirable people as friends, companions, and colleagues." Don't say that, Ananda. Don't say that. Tathagata is saying, don't say that, Ananda. Don't say that. Having admirable people as friends, companion, and colleagues is actually the whole of the holy life. When one has admirable people as friends, companions, and colleagues, one can be expected to develop and pursue the noble eightfold path. Tathagata is this, so we can link this to the comparative mental health of Buddha, Tathagata, Babasaheb Ambedkar, Savitribai Phule, Ramai, Mahatma Phule. That they were having good friends, they were having good colleagues, admirable people in their life, irrespective of their caste, irrespective of their religion, irrespective of their whatever ethnicity, everything. They had friends in every field, and that helped them, all of them, of course, to develop, of course, the Noble Eightfold Path. So when we, the educated people, are doing a Dhamma Karya or are doing our day-to-day work, we should follow some techniques, some good techniques to make our mental health strong, to be able to interact with each and everybody with good mental health and good communication with everybody. Is it not that a metta, or is it not the Maitri Bhavana? It is. So Noble Eightfold Path actually help us to attain a strong mental health, and strong mental health along with our physical and social health. We can live a very good, realistic, and a prosperous life. So that's it for today, I guess. Uh, if I don't know how much time I have taken, but yeah, so
But
this is
really thank Rewat for your detailed session about mental health. That was with the context of teaching of Tathagata and real life example of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, which we never heard of and never able to relate. So now we are able to relate that with our life. So thank you so much. Um, with that said, I will open a forum for question and answers for the members. So if anybody has any question for Dr. Rewat, please raise your hand or type your question in chat box. Any question? There is one hand raised from Anna Vihara. Can you go ahead?
Yeah, yeah. Mangesh, this is Mahesh, and thank you,
Mahesh.
Rewatji, for joining the online Vihara. It was amazing that you talk about the mental health issue during the time frame of the Buddha and Dr. Ambedkar and Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, along with Savitribai and Ramai. So I think we observed that time frame, and the current time frame is totally different. And during that time period, there was no mental issues, health centers. There is no therapy but there was a community that used to uh, support them in terms of mental issues because of the united family and joint family kind of.
Right.
So, what is your perspective today's environment? Because the student, the individuals, they are kind of alone, lonely. They feel lonely, even though there is a family support or the friend support. So, why that is not? It is coming up in the today's context.
So there are two aspects to that. First is you are actually lonely. And second is you are intellectual enough that you don't mingle with anybody and then get lonely. First thing is that we all are facing the screen time issue. Everybody is having a mobile in their hand, and we are scrolling in upward direction. Let me tell you that very clearly that the upward scrolling is also linked with the secretion of so-called good hormones or quick happiness giving hormones, if I say so in layman's language. And you get obsessed to that, and it is more or less like drinking substance or consuming substance or substance abuse. And then you get uh, used to the small or pleasure from that 30-second reels, and you scroll it like many times for many hours. And if I'm upfront enough that even I face that issue when we open social media, when we go through the Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, we get so involved that when half hour, 1 hour, 2 hour passes, we don't get the uh, feeling of how much time has passed. So what happens is that in that scenario, when we do the upward movement, our upward eye movements are there, and which I already told that, which is linked to the secretion of hormones, which gives us temporary pleasure. So when we close that thing and when we go outside, normally if playing cricket or playing football or playing any sport or chit-chatting or reading newspaper, the amount of happiness it used to give is not comparable with that scrolling. And now we are getting bored of that. So these companies who are running the social media have hacked into the loophole of our mental health, and they are making us a consumer uh, with zero money, of course, or zero money for the subscription. Yes, somebody has told dopamine. I'm not using the medical term, of course, but because of that, we are not getting pleasure from the so-called normal activities we are doing. So it is very important to limit our screen time, not to do at least 2 hours before going to bed, not to do early in the morning after getting up from the bed, uh, and follow Sant Tukaram's thing. Before telling everybody, follow that to yourself, and make sure that you are not doing it. These are some of the things we can use to be able to communicate with people, to able to actually enjoy the realistic happiness which is outside our screen. And by this, of course, we will not be able to be in the state of loneliness. This is the first thing. Some of us which are well studied, which is the second part which I told, that we are intellectual enough. I'm not uh, making tarif of everybody that Buddhists are intellectual. Yes, they are, because we are not spending our time in superstitions, things which other religions are doing. So we are having enough time with us to study Babasaheb, to study Buddha, to study Mahatma Phule, Ramai, Savitribai Phule, everybody. And we are intellectual enough. And then what happens is that when you go to your office environment or your day-to-day life colleague, they might not be intellectual enough like you, and you don't feel to discuss some petty talks with them or discuss some futile talks with them, and then again you become lonely. So you have to follow the Majjhim Nikaya or Madhyam Marg, You have to balance everything. Uh, you need to go outside, communicate with people. You need to go and interact with people. When there is time that you want to focus, like Sir Albert Einstein, when he want to give his time to develop whatever theory he is developing, he used to close his door and be there for 3 4 days. He used to take his meal thali from below the door, and he used to study some something very similar to what Babasaheb did. But when there is time, you make effort to do stuff outside your work life. Babasaheb used to learn violin. He was very well versed in tabla playing. And if some of you must be knowing that he had a garden in his Delhi house where he used to do gardening. We have books of gardening in his book collection where he had taken notes, he had underlined things. So he used to do the gardening, which is very, very good for mental health. Einstein used to go on bicycle. He also used to play some music instrument. And not only this, there are evidences where Buddha used to sit and listen to the verses which he had spoken in a musical form. Buddha was there when there was no writing. The writing was not developed. When Buddha had his lifespan of 80 years, there was no writing. Whatever he told was getting propagated mouth to mouth. And it was in the form of music or verses. So he used to sit and listen to those verses in a musical form. He had appreciated that in musical forms. There are evidences. सक्काचे सांगणे म्हणून एक मराठीमधला आहे आणि त्यातून त्या याच्यामध्ये ह्या बाबी मेन्शन केलेल्या आहेत की where Buddha used to listen to music. So these are some of the things which we can follow in our day-to-day life to make our mental health strong and not to be alone, of course. Yeah, that's it. Next.
There was one question from Dr. Alka. Which doctrine of Buddha Dr. Babasaheb might have practiced? Would you like to answer that?
I'm not getting the question in correct form. Which doctrine? Can you please explain, Doke
Which
ma'am?
doctrine of Buddha Dr. Babasaheb might have practiced?
If
Uh,
I'm not wrong, he had, 205, 2500 years after Buddha, Babasaheb is there. And when I already discussed that there was no written material at the time of Buddha. So it was very much challenging for Babasaheb to read everything what is available in his contemporary period and then analyze. And as told by Buddha, that be self-illuminated, rationalize everything, whatever you read. Babasaheb must have gone through whatever available text he can read in humanly manner. And he had extracted and gave us Buddha and his Dhamma. And when Babasaheb was asked, do you follow Mahayana or Hinayan? Then he said, I am following Navayan. So he had not developed Navayan, but it was answer to that. Do you follow Mahayana or Buddha, Hinayan? So the answer was, I don't follow whatever is there. This is my Navayan. And he has written that in his Buddha and his Dhamma. So if I dare say, his doctrine is Navayan, and he had rejected many things from whatever available contemporary writings, and he has given us uh, whatever knowledge in whatever purest form he can. I'm very much junior to Dr. Alka Doke ma'am to answer this question, but yes, this is my take on her question.
No, no. It's doctrine of impermanence. Dr. Babasaheb must have been, practiced because he believed in impermanence, changing. Everything is changing. So
Absolutely.
mental states are
Absolutely.
also changing from time
Absolutely.
to time, in a fraction of second. And
Absolutely.
also, I think he used to do meditation also. Seems it is written somewhere, or I heard from learned person. So he might be doing meditation and studying and thinking is also considered as one of the faculty of meditation, going in deep thoughts and peaceful mind thinking. So
Right.
he believed in these things.
There is one somewhere I read that when somebody asked Baba Sahib, "Do you do meditation?" Then he said, "My meditation happens when I'm deep into reading." So it is, yes, it is a
Yeah.
form of meditation. Traditionally, what
Mm,
now we learn about anapan and meditation might not be his thing, but yeah, definitely
mm,
reading and getting involved so much so that you are focused or ekagra enough to do the meditation while reading. And what
mm,
you said about uh, Dr. Ryan, impermanence. Yeah, it was his thing. Everything is changing. Only thing uh, is constant is change. Yes, yes, absolutely, Mark.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Member, any more question? There is one question for you, Dr. Rewat sir, from Mahesh Vasnik sir.
Yes,
What is
please.
your USN number to contact?
No, I don't. I have not visited USA yet. I live in Mumbai and work in JJ Hospital, but yeah, I would like to come to USA someday.
Definitely. Praveen, you have a question. Please go ahead. Sorry, Pawan. You can unmute yourself.
Sorry, can you hear me?
We can. It's not clear.
Okay. Well, question to Doctor.
Yeah.
So, in Buddhism, there are like a dual nature of Buddhism, I'll say, where some countries follow it as a religion, other countries follow it as a philosophy. So, for a mental health purpose, is there any study or do you have any information like which way helps more on a mental health side?
So right now it is very much this part is very much undiscovered. Uh, there are very less study on that. But if I am to tell from whatever you asked, from my experience, see, religion helps in a way for so-called. See, I'm not comparing anybody, but when you go to society, there will be people who will not be intellectual enough. They will be a common people. And there will be people who are intellectual enough. So when Buddhism acts as religion, or when Baba Sahib converted us from one religion to another, he must have had a thought that religion helps everybody or every common man. What basic thing Buddhism do when we study it, when we converted ourselves from in 1956, we have discarded all the superstition. We have discarded Murti Puja. So now we are getting time, and now we all are getting time to utilize for some good things to do. So a Buddha religions or religions who are not, or other religions other than Buddhism, of course, they are having things in the form of Shraddha, and some are Andhashraddha even, or superstition. So their major time when they worry or when they are in compromised state, that is going in that direction along the Shraddha or along the superstition, which is wrong. So compare a common man from other religion, either any religion, and a common from a man from a or a person from Buddhism. So all those are going in the direction of doing puja, murti puja, or worshipping something. But a Buddhist person is not doing so and thinking that rationally. Even if he don't know much about Buddhism, even if he or she has not read or understood about Buddhism, he or she, that person is not going in the direction of superstition or hero worship or murti puja. So that is beneficial for them. So religion is helping him or her in that way. When it comes to philosophy, when that person becomes intellectual enough to read Buddhism, to read Dhamma, then definitely Buddhism will help him or her in philosophical way to prosper in his life, to prosper in his work, or to prosper in his day-to-day life. So religion can help common people if we are taking Buddhism as religion, and Buddhism is helping us philosophically when we are intellectual enough. So it is our responsibility to choose. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, real good answer.
Thank you. Mangesh sir, we are not, you are, kindly
Sorry,
unmute your
sorry. Yeah.
profile.
So I don't see any hands raised. So I
Yeah.
think people are good with their questions.
Right.
Uh, in that case, we can wrap up today's Vihara session. So now it's time to conclude our online Buddha Vihara. But before that, we have, uh, I
One more
want to,
question
yeah,
from Shirish
we got
Kanasagi.
it. Okay, Shirish sir, go ahead. You can go ahead, Shirish sir. You're on mute.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hello.
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah. I would really ask Dr. Rewat, before going, what message would you like to give everyone on the same topic? Thank you very much.
My last message in 2 lines will be that Babasaheb, Buddha, Savitribai Phule, Ramai, Mahatma Phule has done so much so that they have made our mental health very strong. If you are getting compromised, then it's your mistake. So please read everybody. Buddha, Baba Saheb, Mahatma Phule, Savitribai Phule. All books are available in hard copies, soft copies, everywhere. The knowledge is right in front of you. The treasure is right in front of you. You have to make efforts. As in Dhammapada, it is said, Tumme hi kicha tap akkhataru tathagata. Buddhas can guide you or show you the path. You have to make efforts to walk the path. I'm delivering the same message from Buddha. Thank you.
Okay, now it's time to conclude our online Vihara. I would like to thank Honorable Bhante Nyaya Virakita for his blessing us with Dhamma Talk. Thanks for kids motivational story from Risa Sonane and Kranti Rai for conducting the session. Many thanks to our guest Rewat Kaninde sir for
Thank you.
the topic and giving us ample amount of time for our question answers and answering them, with our real-time example. With this, we can conclude our today's online Vihara. Thank you. Namo
Thank
Buddhaya.